Welcome to ShoutOut. In this segment, we are talking with somebody special. And for this episode, we have somebody extra special as we've been invited over to the Netherlands Embassy in Bangkok, and we're in conversation with His Excellency, Kees Rade. Thank you, Your Excellency, for inviting us here today.
Sure.
I've seen the embassy is very supportive of the LGBTQ community in Thailand, and recently you hosted the Hero Awards Gala dinner. What's the policy of the embassy behind supporting the LGBTQ community?
Well, for us, for the Netherlands, and for, I would say, fortunately, most European countries, the LGBTQ issue is absolutely important. It forms part of our human rights policy, where basically we say all human beings are equal, no matter their religion, their race, their color, and their sexual preference. So in that sense, we think that this policy we implement very strongly at home, and of course that we also try to promote abroad. So that's why wherever we have embassies, we try to support projects that have that purpose of making sure that the position of the LGBTQ people is safeguarded, is improved. Organizing the Hero Awards dinner was a lot of fun, because it's a very nice crowd organizing it. It's very colorful with nice performances and so on. And of course the main purpose is to recognize people in the region, in the Southeast Asia region, who implement activities supporting the LGBTQ position in their respective countries. And in that sense, I think we are very lucky to live in Thailand, because Thailand, I think, is a relatively positive example of that issue. But there are some other countries in the region where it's much, much tougher. And to recognize the champions of the LGBTQ issue in certain countries where it is much more difficult to undertake activities in that area, I think for us it's a way of supporting these people in their sometimes very difficult functioning. But anyway, we support the Hero Awards, but we undertake many other activities in the cultural sector, but certainly also in the political sector and so on. So, but again, we do it because this is really it's at the core of our human rights policy.
You and your lovely wife have lived in Thailand now, in Bangkok, since 2018. From your perspective, do you think that there is a tolerance of LGBTQ plus community in Thailand?
The short answer is yes, absolutely. And to be honest, of course, I know the Netherlands very well. I lived in Amsterdam for many, many years. Amsterdam is probably one of the most LGBTQ-friendly capitals in the world. But still, I'm impressed, I would say almost on a daily basis, when I'm walking through Bangkok, by the level at which the LGBTQ people are totally accepted in normal daily life. And when I go to a supermarket, and whether there is a transgender person assisting me, for me it's very touching to see that this person is functioning totally normally in that supermarket with colleagues, with clients. Nobody is looking at them, or they're totally accepted. Even in the Netherlands, you don't see that at that level. So in that sense, I think Thailand can be very proud, or the Thai people can be very proud of the level of acceptance of people with other sexual preferences in day-to-day life. Having said that, we're not there yet. It can always be better. Of course, in Thailand, you have the discussion about the civil partnership bill, which is it's a step forward, definitely. On the other hand, of course, it's not like, as some other people I understand are advocating, to say we should look at the marriage law and we should just say marriage between men and women, change that into marriage between two human beings. That of course would be the ideal world, because then all the rights, all the privileges that are linked to a marriage will be given to the people marrying, no matter what their sexual preference is. So let's say, legally speaking, there are still a few challenges. Another area where we focus on is the LGBTQ position on the work floor. Thai companies, let's say in practice, they are pretty okay, but if it comes to really openly discussing these issues, there are still some challenges. And again, we try also with some Dutch NGOs and some Dutch trade unions to also work on that issue.
Travel. The global LGB travel industry, or segment I should say, in 2018 was valued in excess of 196 billion euros. Do you think the Netherlands and Thailand are well positioned to capture the LGBTQ travel market?
I think absolutely, and to be honest, I think we are already quite well positioned. Thailand, for the reason I just explained, that when you walk around or whatever, you can be yourself, no matter what your background is. Netherlands the same, and of course we are known, I think, as a very open and a very permissive society. And actually in Amsterdam we have the Gay Pride, which is very famous, which is a week of cultural activities, of debates, of all kinds of events. And it's a very, very, very colorful parade. And there are around 500,000 spectators, and it's really worth going there. So in that sense, I think we are already tapping that very substantial market, and I think Thailand has all the necessary qualities to tap into that market as well.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for meeting with us today. Now back to the studio with In and Out.